Sonic CD is quite the divisive title, and that's actually what the D in CD stands for. Some people will swear by it, others will swear at it, but is it just a misunderstood masterpiece? No, I don't think so, but there is a little bit more to it than that. Yes! Hello everybody, I'm Garrulous64, and it's time to talk about the rat again. Oh joy, oh joy. You guys know I make a video every week, right? Like last week, I made an hour-long video about one of my favorite things in the entire world, and instead, we're here talking about Sonic CD again, and here I am trying to market this one. I know the topic might not initially seem like something you might enjoy, but that's why you click it and try something new, you know? Go on, make my day, please. And for those that have tried it out, I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And I would also like to give my thanks to all of my current channel supporters, who you can see on screen right now. Remember, even $1 helps a whole lot when it comes to making content like this. A lot of you are probably wondering why I came back to Sonic CD if I have so many times in the past said I didn't like it. Well, honestly, it's because of a conversation I had in the past with a friend, and I can't really remember which friend it was because I have so many. But the gist of that conversation was, hey Dylan, getting the time stones in Sonic CD is not the best way to enjoy the game. And I, like any normal, sensible human, said, there are ways to enjoy Sonic CD. Got 'em! But anyway, I also just needed something to talk about this week, and I ended up landing on the Sonic CD revisit. And you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And you know what else is the opposite of bad? Today's sponsor, Slickdeals. You must have had at least one time in your life when you were shopping on whatever website you might prefer, and you see an empty coupon box at your checkout and go, man, I really wish that I could just put some words in there and get a little bit of money off my purchase. Well, lucky for you, Slickdeals is the browser extension that will help you find those coupons and apply them to your purchase automatically. And if coupons aren't your thing, you can also check out their little deals section and you will find things that you could only ever dream of. For example, here's a little game called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I don't know if all of you remember that this game was actually delisted for 7 years and was unobtainable through legal means, but was re-released and is now available for purchase, and it is only $4 right here, and I only found it because of Slickdeals. Installing Slickdeals is as easy as clicking my link in the description, adding it to your browser, and then bam, you're off to save money just like I have. I really hope you give that a shot, and without further stalling, let's get to Sonic CD. Sonic CD's nuts came out in 1993, which put it in the unfortunate position of coming out after Sonic 2, which is hailed as the greatest thing since the instrument we use to slice bread. Regardless of its release date, though, most people tend to place this in the continuity between Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, and I believe Sonic Origins is coming along to now prove this. Placing it in between 1 and 2, though, makes the most sense to me because Tails the Fox is not in this game, and instead we have the origin of two new fan-favorite characters in the form of Amy Rose and Metal Sonic. Let me tell you, Metal Sonic is a fan favorite. He is like the best thing since sliced bread. See, that's not the same joke as I used earlier, because I used the bread part this time. Sonic CD would also introduce a new iconic location to the Hedgehog's world in the form of the currently captured Little Planet, which is shown to us through this gorgeous opening intro cinematic set to one of the most iconic Sonic vocal tracks, unless you were playing the 2011 version of Sonic CD where the vocals are mysteriously missing. Man, talk about a bad future. Real talk though, watching this intro kind of gives me chills, because like Sonic used to be so cool, dude. Like, man, I wish Sonic was still cool. Seeing as Robotnik is up to his old tricks again, Sonic decides to do what he does best, and that is run through a Green Hill-inspired location. Palm Tree Panic is our first zone, and the panic part of Palm Tree Zone is that you realize that you are not playing a normal Sonic game. Your goal in the classic Sonic games is usually to just run to the right and find the goal pole as fast as possible, and I might be actually pointing left, I'm not sure, because my camera might be flipped, so I might just, oh, okay, there we go. But in this game, the stages are built with verticality and exploration in mind. And that is because you're not supposed to make a beeline from point A to point B, you're supposed to look around this place for some hidden goodies. And I'm not just talking about rings and 1-ups, because when you're running around these levels, you're gonna find these poles that say past and future. One fills you with nostalgia, and the other fills you with existential dread. Making use of both of those powers, Sonic is able to transport himself through time to either the past or the future, and this is where the meat of the game takes place. Unless you went to the future, because there's really nothing of value there at all. Live in the present, that's what I always say. To get this time travel to work, however, you need to have Sonic run at full speed for a certain amount of time, and this is something that I initially did not like about the game, but upon this replay, I noticed that a lot of the stages have areas where you're able to either cheese this time travel gimmick, which I did a lot, or you're able to just go down these nice long stretches and you know, eventually find yourself going 88 miles an hour and Back to the Future or whatever. While in the past, you'll notice that a lot of the gimmicks that were in the future might be toned down a bit, there might be less things going on, yet there are still rings and springs all over the place, so I guess the springs are naturally occurring phenomenon, which it is a weird world, dude. Aside from finding yet more questions about his world, Sonic is also able to find a metal Sonic projector of him, like, stomping on cute little woodland creatures, like the absolute villain he is. And you're also able to find the robot generator, which Robotnik placed in the past to flood both the present and future with his badniks. If you destroy the robot generator, then you are pretty much safe to explore this stage to your heart's content. You just gotta watch out for, like, crush deaths and spikes. But destroying these things also leads you to gaining a good future for the act you are currently in. And that, my friends, is why these levels are not designed like Sonic 1 and 2 stages, and it's because they are made with backtracking in mind. You're able to get to any point in the stage from any location, as opposed to some Sonic 1 and 2 levels where after you go past a certain section, you just kind of get walled off and you can't go back. Tracking down both of Robotnik's creations in the past is actually essential to creating a good future for the entirety of Little Planet, by the way, because if you miss even one of these things throughout the game, you are actually locked into the bad ending, which is typically what happens if you don't get all the Chaos Emeralds. And I know, like, bad ending, it's not very, like, bad. It's just Robotnik going, "Oh, try again, or I'll hit your light on the left side again." I don't know if you guys can hear that. This game is actually a little bit more punishing with its bad ending then, because, like, at least if you miss a Chaos Emerald in one of the zones in Sonic 1 or 2 or 3, you're able to, like, get it in the next zone. But if you miss a robot projector or the generator, sorry, dude, replay the game. There's no way to play the stage over. And that is where the time stones come in. I guess every planet has their own form of, like, 7 colored gems for you to collect. I guess, we have the Chaos Emeralds on Earth, and then we have the time stones on Little Planet. It's like Dragon Ball. There's, like, Dragon Balls all over the place. Yet more thievery from the source material, I see. These things function identically to Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 1. You just collect 50 rings, pass the goal post, and then you jump into the goal ring at the end. This is actually a lot easier to do if you destroy the robot generator in the past, because then there will be less obstacles, like I mentioned before, and that is the reason I was actually able to get all of the time stones this time around, and I've never done that, and it was, kind of counterproductive to the whole bit I had at the beginning about, like, don't collect the time stones, it's not the best way to play the game. I did it anyway. I'm a rebel. The goal ring, surprise, surprise, transports you to a very trippy pseudo 3D environment where your goal is to take down all of these UFOs. But watch out, you gotta avoid the death water on the ground, because if you stay in it too long, you lose all your time and you are ejected from the special space. Also, I like how Sonic's not concerned about the alien invasion happening, as if the mothership isn't, like, right above him, waiting to just, like, turn him into space dust. Come on, do us a favor, aliens, please. Purple UFOs kind of just, like, move around and try to juke you. The blue ones also do this, but they have items inside them, such as speed shoes and time-ups, so if you're running low on time, it's in your best interest to destroy some of these blue UFOs. I know that saved me a couple times, because that death water is no joke. Now, I said earlier I wasn't going to go for all the time stones, it just kind of happened that way, but I did hunt for robot generators all the way up to Wacky Workbench, and then it just so happened that I got the last time stone, so I could just kind of roll right through Wacky Workbench and not have to worry about exploring it, because Wacky Workbench. I don't want to explore it. It's mostly the gimmick of that stage that makes me dislike it so much. It's just very disruptive to the flow of literally anything you're doing, and since it's so vertical, you can't really, like, you just can't get away from some of these areas, like, because it'll bounce you back up to where you just were, and I was just like, oh my god, I just want to leave. I just want to leave. I don't want to be here. Other stages where I don't want to be include Collision Chaos, which is, not a bad stage in its entirety, but I really don't like those sections where it's like, hey, it's time to play pinball and smash Sonic's head against a million glass bulbs until he can proceed through the level. It's just like, I just want to go, please, I'm looking for the past sign. I want to go back in time to before glass bulbs were invented. Psych, they're still there. Quartz Quadrant was also another one that I was kind of a little fed up with, because it took a very long time to explore one of the acts, and I actually ended up, like, getting a time over while I was looking for the robot projector, which is one of the only times I actually died in my playthrough. And when I respawned, I hadn't hit a checkpoint, and I was at the very start, and the robot projector was just right at the very start of the level, and I just didn't think to check there. So I guess that was technically a good death, but I don't know, conveyor belts freak me out. I feel like I'm a piece of, like, processed McDonald's goo getting ready to be turned into chicken nuggets or something. I'm sure most of you were expecting me to mention Tidal Tempest in this section where I'm talking about things I didn't like, but in a weird twist of fate, Tidal Tempest might actually be my favorite stage in the game, because there are, like, a ton of places for you to get air, And with the open nature of this game and like it being meant to explore, you don't really need to rush around to save yourself from drowning, which I can appreciate. It was also really fun to look around this place to find the robot generator and the projector because, I don't know, I just liked jumping through all the tubes and floating around and going on the top route, then going down below to find some other things. It was nice. You know what isn't that nice? All of the boss fights in this game, because they are garbage. Now, if I can just defend Eggman for a second here. Like, the guy has just built the ultimate robotic doppelganger of his mortal enemy that can match him in almost every way, and he just captured an entire planet with all of his robots and chained it to his own planet. So that probably took a lot of effort, meaning he probably didn't have a lot of time left over to, like, build these robots. But psych, this game's about time travel, so what the f is your excuse? These are, like, god-awful encounters. Like, these are, like, probably some of the worst in the entire Classic Trilogy. Like, literally, this first boss's weakness is people being to the right of it. Like, that's... What? Then there's something like Collision Chaos's fight, where you're not fighting the boss, you're fighting the pinball physics. And let me tell you, that's a real battle. There's only really two bosses I can point to that I can say that are, like, decent, and that would be Metal Sonic, of course, and then Wacky Workbenches, because I actually died there once, and I do think it's actually an okay fight, albeit it's a little bit simple. You just kind of wait for these platforms to fall from the ceiling, and then you wait for them to bounce, jump up to the next level, and eventually you hit Eggman once, and then he just dies. The dude is so fragile in this game. Like, this boss, you just beat him by breathing. I do that all the time. I'm an expert breather. Obviously, the Metal Sonic race is a standout because it is a super iconic moment for the series. We have Sonic and Metal Sonic running through Stardust Speedway, which is an iconic zone because of this. And you're trying to get to the end goal before Metal Sonic because a door will close and Sonic doesn't have the key. This also leads to Sonic rescuing Amy Rose, who I actually haven't seen in my playthrough up to this point because I finished Act 1 in the past. Dodged a bullet there. That will then bring us to Metallic Madness, where things are a little bit, like, I don't know, good. I liked Metallic Madness a lot, I think. It's just, like, it takes a little bit longer than the other zones, and since at this point, I was not hunting for time stones because I didn't need them, and I don't remember if there are robot generators or not in that level, because it's kind of Robotnik's home base. Of course there are going to be robots there. Basically, I just made my way to Act 3 as fast as possible, and yeah, it's looking very nice in the good future here, aside from all of the crazy saw blades waiting to cut me in half. Then we have Robotnik's final boss contraption, which just, like, lazily rolls around on the ceiling and slowly shoots projectiles at you, and I just wonder, what went wrong here with these boss designs? Like, if I could point to any boss in the series that I could probably fight in real life and, like, win against, it's probably that one. But, you know, the second you put me up against, like, the Bio-Lizard in space, like, my head explodes because I can't breathe out there. I'm an expert breather! Pulverize Robotnik's latest creation, and you get your good or regular ending where Sonic is like, yeah, I saved Little Planet, or he doesn't save Little Planet and it just stays chained up, but you know, I guess you can go and replay the game and try again. Don't listen to this man's lies, by the way, because he's actually right here. Of course, that's a message left over from the original version of the game. In the Christian Whitehead port, Tails is a playable character and has his flight and all of those kind of things that you might expect from Tails. And he'll probably make the game a lot easier to find things, because you won't have to worry about jumping on platforms or, you know, being on a lower route when you want to be on a higher route, because you can just fly. I, for one, did not replay the game as Tails, though, because I had just completed it and I was kind of riding the high of that. Just kind of being like, yeah, I actually did that. Look at me. I guess I should mention the music also, because people will ask why I didn't. It's got probably one of the greatest soundtracks in the entire series, and to top it off, each version of the stages has its own soundtrack. So past, present, future, you get 3 different songs. And actually, it's 4 different songs, because you have Bad Future and Good Future. I think some of my favorites might be, like, Tidal Tempest again. Tidal Tempest Past is a very, like, weirdly foreboding, but also comfortable song, and I'm not quite sure why. Like, a lot of the songs in this game elicit very interesting, like, emotional responses to me. It's very interesting. I wonder if they designed any of those with, like, certain emotions in mind. You can also go down here on the main menu to this thing that says Soundtrack, and if you press, like, this button that says US, it just replaces the entire soundtrack with, like, 5 hours of white noise, and I'm not quite sure why they decided to do that. Either that or my brain is, like, repressing any kind of trauma that might have come from clicking that option. who's to say? And that's pretty much Sonic CD. I don't really think I have anything else to say about it. I don't hate it anymore, but I don't think it's, like, one of the greatest things ever made. It's fine. Like, I think if I were to replay it again, I'd probably play it exactly the same way I did this time, because it was a lot more fun that way. I guess my buddy from back then was correct. Closing statements on the whole thing? You should watch my Oddworld video from last week. I think that would be pretty fun. I would say sorry for repeatedly promoting other videos in this video, but I'm not sorry, so... But congratulations, everybody! You made it to the end of the video, and if you did make it this far, please let me know down in the comments, because now you're in the secret club for making it this far. Not a lot of people do that, you know, you're actually pretty cool. And if you like this video and you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, click the bell, follow my Twitter, and join the Discord for more Sonic and other things that definitely are not Sonic, because I like doing those more, because I do a lot of things. That's the thing I usually say. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to my current supporters, who are Chaotic Mercenary, Ashburn the Burning Hedgehog, Brady Hilkemeyer, Mimic, Noah Wizbios, Danny Lee Dauber, Dax, Minty, Ty Little Tech Guy, Jeremy, Crystal, PM13, Chaos, Dork in a Hat, Mega Traffic Cone. And on Patreon, we have Tayaki Chow, Noah Wizbios again, and John the Real Wawa Luigi. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. It really, really means a lot. And if you have any interest in becoming a supporter yourself, you can click the join button below the video and join up for only $1 a month, which is literally nothing, and it helps me a lot. So thank you so much for even considering to do this, and I hope you had a good time watching the video. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.